Hello internet people, my name is Robert and I'm your website guy, and in this video I'll show you how to create a business website step by step. And we're gonna just cover everything there is. We're gonna buy a web hosting, design the page, and also submit it to Google at the end. And we will be creating a website like this. It will include the most important sections on the homepage for any business, like services, contact us, reviews. I'll show you where to get high quality and free images for your website, and also how to create a logo for it. And obviously the design will be responsive to any device, so it will work on mobile or tablet or desktop. And you can see here on the screen it's on mobile and it works perfectly. Nothing is out of place. In addition, we'll create a contact form and business email so that your customers can easily contact you and you can get new leads. And the best part is, everything will be built in a drag and drop tool, so you don't need to know any coding to get this done. Arnie, what do you think about that?
Who the hell are you?
Come on Arnie, I thought you were on my side.
Tips with punch.
So let's get started making your business website. So the first step is to buy a web hosting and domain name. And domain name is simply the address you type in your browser. So for example, youtube.com is a domain. And web hosting is just a place where to store all your files for your website, and anybody can access it online. It's like a folder on your computer, but it can be accessed from anywhere. So you could run your own web services or web hosting, but to be honest, it's not worth the hassle, and you would need to have a computer running all the time. It gets really tricky really fast. That's why most people just buy a space from a web hosting company and that's it. It's hassle-free. Now, I just want to mention there is a free options for web hosting, but I really don't recommend you going that way. There's too many risks, and the biggest one is that you don't own anything, so at any point they could just shut you down without any reason. So my recommendation is invest in a good web host, because it's like foundation of your house. If it's weak, everything else can just crash down for no reason. So invest in a good web host, and from there you can build up on. All right, let's get started. Just navigate into the description of this video and click on the first link. You'll land on this page and just click on the first button here to get the hosting and the domain name. And this is the web host we're going to register the hosting and the domain. It's called HostPapa and they're from Canada. My website has been with HostPapa for like 18 months and I've been really happy with them. The website loads fast, the customer service seems to be really efficient, and they are reasonably priced. And as a bonus, if you use the link that I showed you in the description, you get an extra 20% discount, and you support this channel because I get an affiliate commission from the sale. And I know some of you will react like this.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
So just scroll down and you can choose between the starter package or the business package. Now the biggest difference between these two is that here in the starter you can only have 2 websites, and for the business you can unlimited websites. So if you know you're going to have more than 2 websites, then select this one. Otherwise you can start with the starter and then you can always upgrade. The good thing about the business one is also they have a bit more capacity in terms of users. But really, if you're just starting out, the starter will be just fine. Then just choose the one you want. So let's say I'm going to go with the starter. And you see here the subtotal is actually quite high, but then if you scroll down and change the period to 12 months, it already decreases, and then there's some extras that you don't really need. And then click on next steps. And this is the hard part actually. You need to find a domain name. If you already know what it is, then type in. So for me, it'll be thetipswithpunch.com. But if you don't know how to choose, there'll be a link in the description to a video where I explain what's the best practice to come up with new ideas for a domain name. Then click on Get My Domain. And the domain is actually included for free for the first year. But what I do recommend, they add this domain privacy, and I do recommend you using it. When you register a domain name with any company, they then provide that information to the Whois database, which basically just gathers all the domain names. And this database is publicly available. If you don't take the domain privacy, they will register the domain name with your details. So just keep the privacy protection and HostPapa will just fill in the name and address with their own information. Arnie, what do you tell people who are stalking you?
Fuck you.
Then fill in your details here. And once you fill in all your details, you'll see here at the bottom, you can actually choose the payment method. So just select if you want to use credit card or PayPal. In my case, I'll be using PayPal. Don't forget to check the terms and conditions. And just so you notice, they also add the VAT to your order. So in my case, it's 21% because I'm in Netherlands. And then click on place your order. And once you ordered, this is the thank you page you'll get. You'll have your confirmation number and also what's gonna happen next. Ka-ching! Oh wait, I guess it's ka-ching to HostPapa. Let me try that again. Ka-ching! Next, you'll receive a bunch of emails from HostPapa. This might take anywhere from 2 minutes to like 15 minutes. The most important ones are this one. If you see verification required, this is for your domain name. So the email looks like this, and if you scroll down, you'll see there's this validate URL. So just click on it, and this just checks your basic details for the domain. They're not gonna show up in anywhere in public, but anyway, you just need to verify this. Just click on verify. Nice. And you can just close this one. And the other important email is this: welcome to HostPapa family. I got actually 3 of them, but the most important one is, I think, the first one, where you actually also receive the dashboard client ID, which is this one, and the password, which is this one. So just open up the dashboard, it's here, and put in the client ID. I have my other one here, so just ignore that. And the password, throw it in, and then just sign in. Alright, next you'll have to set up some security questions. Just select a question and then answer them. And once you're done, just click on save.
We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is Your Daddy and What Does He Do?
Alright, we've sorted out the domain name and web hosting. And now in step 2, we're going to install a software called WordPress. And WordPress is going to help us to create awesome looking designs and manage all the content without knowing any coding. In summary, WordPress is a software that you install on your website so that you can manage your content, such as images and text, without the need for any code. It started as a blogging platform, but now it's grown to so much more. The best part of WordPress is that it's free and it has like thousands of designs which are called themes and thousands of plugins which can upgrade your website to the next level. For example, you could install WordPress and then a plugin called WooCommerce, and you have an e-commerce store. Another benefit is that you have thousands of tutorials about WordPress on YouTube, so you can do it a lot by yourself. Alright, and this is your HostPapa dashboard, and the most useful section of this is my cPanel, so let's start with that. And this is where we're going to actually install the WordPress as well. You can see cPanel here in this small window. If you click on this cPanel logo, it'll open up in a bigger. And here, all you need to do is type in the search box, install, and you'll see this Softaculous Apps Installer. Just click on it. And here, first one, you see WordPress, click on install. And now here we're going to set up WordPress, which is a CMS, and it just means that you can manage all your content from one place. So it's a content management system. So let's start by choosing the version. Just take the latest one, and then let's choose an installation URL. Since HostPapa comes with free SSL, we will choose this HTTPS option. The only thing to keep in mind, the free SSL will be enabled 24 hours after domain registration. If you like to have www, that's up to you. I prefer not to have it, so just the HTTPS. I'm going to select that one. This is my domain, and directory, I'll keep it empty because I want WordPress to be on this whole domain. Then you can give your site a name. So Tips with Punch Tutorials, and description. And here you'll set up an admin account for WordPress. So you can change the username. This is what's going to show up also in the posts. So you could already set up admin, or you can just put your own name and then generate a password. And please make your password more secure than just password 1234. And then the email, for now we can keep this one. We'll set up an email so you can change it later to whatever you want. But if you, for example, know already you want an email like, I don't know, in my case it would be just robert@thetipswithpunch.com. I could add it like this. And then choose the language. And you can skip all these plugins for now. I'll provide you with the link where you can just download all the required plugins later on. And then there's advanced options, but we're not going to touch any of those. So let's just close it up. And here, don't select any of these themes. It's just extra weight for your website. Let's not do that. And we're going to install a good WordPress theme a bit later. Just click on install. All right, once the installation is done, you can click on these links. So I'm going to open up in a new tab. You'll see this warning, and it's normal just because you have HTTPS and the SSL certificate is not yet installed, so it's going to give you this. And this hideous warning will go away once the free SSL is enabled in 24 hours. But let's click on this advanced and then accept risk and continue. And here you can see a very simple website which we're going to change and make very pretty in just a few clicks. But the cool thing is the website is already online. So if you want to do a 10-second victory dance like this, but only if you're wearing tank top with suspenders. Suspenders. So good today. All right, that wasn't too bad, right? Next, let's install a WordPress theme called Astra, and it will help us with the designs because you can choose out of 30 options and you can export all the demo content and we'll have a starting point for our website. Now, if you go back to the dashboard, you can click on this second URL, which is the WordPress admin. And it will log you in automatically. And here you can see this is a WordPress dashboard. And let's start by just installing a proper theme so then everything looks nice. And we can do that by going to here on the left, go to Appearance, Themes, and then here at the top, click on Add New. And then in the search box, type in Astra. And you can see this one, Astra theme. Just click on Install. And this will take a bit of time. But once it's done, click on Activate. How's it going, Clint?
With all due respect, sir, you're beginning to bore the hell out of me.
Okay, next let's install starter site. And these starter sites are just like templates for your WordPress. So they have the design and some images just to get you started. And you can do that by going to here on the left menu, Astra Options. So it's under Appearance, Astra Options. Just click on it. And here you have Import Starter Templates. And if you click on this Install Importer Plugin, just click on it. And it will take you to this screen. And this is basically all the different options you have for a starter template. And as mentioned, this is a starting point. Don't worry if it's not exactly what you want or it's not in your industry, because we're going to change all the text and images and it's going to look more like you want. So you see here, there's so many options. What I recommend you to do is if you want the free option, you just filter those. The agency ones are, I think they go for $59, but sometimes they have really good discounts on these as well. And here you still have probably more than 30 options. You can see they continue and continue. However, if you don't like any of these, you can just visit ThemeForest. They have like thousands of themes for every industry. and you can just choose your favorite and then install it on your WordPress. I'll leave the link in the description. So let's say I want to select this one. I mean, it's a template for dentist, but it doesn't really matter. We can always change things around. So already here you see that there's only one page template and it's the home page. So you don't have templates for about page or the other pages, which is fine for me for this tutorial, but maybe that's something you want to take into account. And here you can just preview how the whole template looks like. Yep, I can use all of this, and what I like here is that you have the free consultation right in the header block. So it's right when the user lands on the page, they see this contact us form. So then if you're happy with your template, just click here, import complete site. And here, if this is your first time you're importing these, then just keep the default. And if you've imported before, you can select this one. And this will delete some of the files that came with the previous install. But since this is our first time, we can just ignore that and click on import. Now, Astra will install all the plugins and everything you need for this website. So this might take anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. So just keep that in mind, and I'm gonna pause the video for now. All right, once it's done, you'll see this pop up and you can actually visit the site. So let's do that. And here you go. You see that there's pretty much everything set up here. For some reason, the contact us form is not working, but we're going to check that out in a second. I think there's a few settings that need to be done. All right, cool. Now you can close this pop-up. So let's quickly fix that issue with the form. It's really easy. So just make sure, go to dashboard. And here you'll see that you have now new fields here, and you have this WP forms. Just click on all forms. This is the plugin that was installed that actually controls and manages all the forms on your website. In this case, we only have one, which is this one here, which is not showing up right now. And you see here on the right, you have this number. So what we do is take this one, copy, and then let's go to pages, all pages. Then here you have home, just click on edit, and then click with edit with Elementor. Elementor is drag and drop tool, and with this you can build the whole website. Now we're going to use this to also inject the form into this page layout. So what you need to do here is, if you have this situation, there's actually one field that you can't see. You see that this blue pen appears here and it's around here. If you click on it, you see that there's a number here. So what you need to do is come here and then just paste the ID that we copied before, and then click on update. And then if you go to your website and refresh it, you'll see that the contact form is now active here and it looks correct. And then one more thing with this WP forms, with the free version, it actually, you can't store all the submissions on your WordPress. It just sends you an email. So let's just set that up so that you get, whenever somebody submits a contact request, you will get that as an email. So let's go back to Elementor. Here, click on this hamburger menu and exit to dashboard. And then here on the left, WP forms, go to all forms, then hover over the contact form and click on edit. And here on the left, click on settings and notifications. This is where you're going to receive the emails. So in this case, it just grabs the admin email, which we set up in the beginning. But if you want to change it, just type in whatever you want here. So let's say it would be, but I'm going to keep the admin email because that's correctly set up for me. And then here, email subject. This is going to be what the email that you're going to receive. So I'm going to keep it as that. Dental clinic, no, I'm going to make spotless. From email, you can keep the admin. So from email and send to email should be the same. And the rest you can just keep as is. I think that was it. Right, Arnie?
Wrong.
Oh yeah, click on save. Step 3 is to set up a business email with your new domain name. This way, whenever you send out emails to your customers, it looks much more professional. So let's close this up. And then you can head back to this tab, which is Softaculous. And then here on the top, you have Control Panel. So let's go there. And in this view, if you go to Email, you see here Email Accounts. Just click on it. And for now, it's empty. Besides this one, but it's default one, you don't want it. So just click on Create. And I want to just have my first name and then the tipswithpunch.com. Here you can set a password. So let me generate one. And then the storage space, you can keep this as a 500 megabytes for now. And you can keep everything else as is. And then click on Create. And that's it. You have now an email. So let's say I want to write, just to test it, I'm going to use my Gmail to write here. Test email. And then back to cPanel. And then here you have check email. If you click on it. And here you can see it directly in your window. Let's say I choose this Horde and open. You'll see here that there's this welcome email. And this email is quite useful actually if you want to set up your email for some other client like Outlook, or maybe on your iPhone, in your iPhone mail. And they have all the instructions here. I'll leave also in the description how to set this up. And as you can see here, also my test email arrived. And this way you have your own email inbox, and you can create up to 100 email accounts with the starter package. And that should be just more than enough. So you can start giving out emails like Oprah. You get an email, you get an email, you get an email. Step 4 is to install the most useful plugins for your WordPress. And these plugins will help you with security, search engine optimization, and page speed. And you can do it easily by just going to the first website we open up. It's this one, the same link you used to buy the hosting and domain. You have here step 2, and just download this plugin. And this is just a plugin that actually, with one click, you'll be able to download all the plugins you need. So just save the file and then head to your WordPress dashboard and just navigate to Plugins, Add New. And then click on Upload Plugin and browse. Select this file that you just downloaded and open it and click on Install Now. And this plugin is super simple. I've created it myself. It's only a list of other plugins, but the cool thing about it is once you activate it, it'll suggest you to install all those plugins in one go. So here at the top you see this team recommends the following plugins, blah blah blah. So just click on Begin Installing Plugins, and all of these plugins will be installed in one go, so you don't need to go and install them one by one. And these plugins help you with security and backups, and also just in general website load speed and SEO, which is super important. So let's go ahead and click on this checkbox, and in the drop down select Install and then click on Apply. Now this will take a bit of time because there's several plugins there. Alright, and once it's done you'll see this page, and you can just go to, on the last link, click on it, return to required plugins installer, and again click on this checkbox and select Activate, and then click on Apply. Arnie, tell the audience the plan.
Now this is the plan. Get your ass to Moz.
Mind-blowing, Arnie, mind-blowing. First, I'm going to show you how to set up a plugin called Resmush because we need it while designing our website. And at the end of the video, I'll show you the rest of the plugins and the best settings for them. And if you go to Media, and here you have Resmush, and this is your image compression plugin. So the cool thing is, if you have already images there, you could optimize all of them. And what it does, it just compresses the images so that they take up less space without compromising the quality. So what you need to do here in the settings, make sure that optimize on upload. So every time you upload an image, it will actually do it for you right there. So you don't need to do it yourself. And then also put the image quality. Let's put the 92, which is default anyway. And then enable statistics so you can see how much it actually optimized stuff. And then save changes. And you can also optimize the existing images by clicking on this button. This will take a bit of time depending on how many images you already have. And once it's done, you'll get this message, and that just means all your existing images are now optimized as well. Alright, I got back to my WordPress dashboard, and one thing I want to mention before we continue, if you ever log out or anything, let's do that. I'm going to log out. You can always come to this page by typing in, so you type in your domain name and then /wp admin. And it will just redirect you to this page, and then you can log in. So I'm back to my WordPress dashboard, and let's next just set up some of the basic settings for WordPress, and you can do that by going settings and then permalinks. Now by default, WordPress sets the permalinks, which are your links to your posts and stuff, to date and name. I'm really not a big fan of this, because then you have a date in your URL. It just looks ugly, and I don't think it's very beneficial for SEO. So my recommendation is to go with just post name. You can do the custom structure where you have post name, and before it, if you click on just before it, you can click here on category. This just means to say category and then your post name. So let's say you do a tutorial about websites, that's the category. So websites / how to build a website would be the post name. But the shorter the URL, the better. So you might as well just keep it as sample post. Or maybe you want to keep it so that it's your posts are only for your blog. In that case, you could go custom structure. And then here you can type in /blog. And then keep the post name as is. And I'm gonna keep it this way because this is my business website, and all the posts I'm gonna make is going to be in the blog. So posts are just like articles in WordPress language, and then pages are actual pages like your home page or maybe about us page and stuff like that. And you see here is posts and pages. That's the difference. And then scroll down and click on Save Changes. I hope all of that didn't make you as confused as this guy. Step 5 is to create a logo and favicon for your website so it looks more professional. And we'll be using an online editing tool called Canva, and you can get there by clicking the second link in the description. Now the next part is a bit more fun, so we get to create the logo and also a favicon, which is basically an icon like this one here that you see in your browser. And you can do that by going to Appearance and then here click on Customize. And basically this is where you customize your basic settings for WordPress, and also your header and also your footer, which is here at the bottom. Or actually I think in this case it's this one. So what we want to do is change this logo to your own brand logo. If you don't have logo, it's super easy to create. Let's do that. So just go in the description of this video and click on the link with Canva, and you'll end up on this page. Just sign up. You can choose which way you sign up. And then type in your name, email, and password. And it's totally free, and I'm going to show you quickly how to create a logo. I'm going to log in because I already have an account. So the cool thing about Canva is that it has a lot of different options and templates. So it's not only for logos, but it's for everything you need in terms of design. You can edit and also find some images here. So for example, here you have also, just to give you an example of the templates, you have infographics, thank you cards, animated social media, posters, logos, and so far. And here on the homepage, click on Create a Design and Custom Dimensions. We need the logo to be in the portrait view, so I'm gonna make it 800 by 100, and then I'm gonna create design. And this is basically where you edit all your images in Canva, and you see you have already here some suggestions for different kinds of templates. Since we're building a logo, these are not that good for us. Maybe if you want to use some as a base, you can use them. For example, something like this. But also here on the left, you have different options, like you have photos. So here you can actually grab photos. You also see that some of them are pro, so you need to pay for them, but some are free. So, and all you need to do is you just drag and drop it into the view. Now obviously the image doesn't fit here. There's also elements. This is the best place when you're building a logo. And then you got text. Here you can use any kind of text. They have some pre-built templates as well. Music, won't need it maybe for this time. You have also backgrounds if you want to spice it up a little bit. And the best part here, you can also upload your own image. And here there are some of your own folders, purchased and so on, and more options. But for now, you don't need this. So let's go to the elements. Elements, sparkle. I'm going to choose the same sparkle I already had. Like this. And then I'm going to give it another color. And now I want some text. You can choose here. These are some templates. I like this font, so I'm going to use this template. It's not really fitting, but it will soon. And this one, I don't need it, so I'm going to right click on it and click on ungroup. Now you can actually also delete it. This and now. And I'm going to change the color, resize it like this. Nice. So can it be a bit smaller? That. And I'm quite happy with this. Going to download it now. Click on this button. Arnie, what do you think about my logo?
One ugly motherfucker.
Okay, that hurts a little. Unfortunately, Canva doesn't allow you to have transparent background with the free plan, but there's a workaround. Just click on download once you're ready. If you have a website that is white with a white background, then this will work fine. There's also a website that just removes the background color, and then your image becomes with transparent background, and you can place it anywhere and it will work quite nicely. Just go to Google and type in onlinepngtools.com, and you can choose the make PNG transparent, or you can go to the website and here make PNG transparent. So what you can do here is just drag and drop your logo like this, and this is what's going to be after it. And you can see it's a bit rough, so you can see it doesn't look that good, so you can adjust the match. So you can put 1%, it'll look more sharp. Even 0%, it'll just keep the white. So I'm gonna leave it like this, and then here you can save as and then download. It's gonna download it. Again, if we go and check it out, that looks pretty good to me. And now let's just rename the new file. Logo. And now we are ready to place them in WordPress. So I'm going to close these windows. We won't need Canva right now. There's so many of them. So in the WordPress customizer, now you can actually remove this logo, or actually just change the logo and go to upload files and select file. Mine are here. I can take this spotless cleaning logo, the one without the background, click on it and upload it. Takes a bit of time because Resmush it is also compressing at the same time. You can see here that it reduced the size by 53%. and I'm going to give it a alt tag. This is important for SEO, or at least recommended. Spotless cleaning logo, and that's it. And then select, and I'm going to drag this out so that it selects the whole image. You can leave a little bit at the end like this, you don't need all of it. Crop image, or if you don't want to crop, just skip cropping here, and you can see our new logo is now in the header. And then if you scroll down, you have the slightly icon, which is basically this logo here. Let's change that. We can use actually same logo here, and then click on select. And the thing is here, it has to be a square. So what you can use, either create a new logo for it, just a special PNG file with your icon or whatever. I'm going to use this part. And this is how it's going to look. It's not with a black background though. So let's see. Crop image. Here it gives you a preview how it will look like. Just a second. You see here, you see a bit of sparkles there. And it just looks quite nice when you have something like that there and not just standard or empty space there. And here you can also give a better title. So in the beginning I just gave a very generic one. Let's give a proper site title. Like that. Tagline. You don't really see these. What you can see here is once you're on your website, it will appear here at the top. So here, stop spotless cleaning dash cleaning service with a punch. So this is where site title and tagline are used. And then don't forget to click on publish. And since we're in the customizer, I just want to show you, this is the place where you also update a lot of things. Just the basic stuff. You have some things like typography. You can just select what kind of fonts you want to have by default. And this will apply only to the header and footer since we're using Elementor. But this is where you set up everything else. So you got colors here also, base color, theme color. So sometimes you'll see on the page that there's some weird things like maybe one button is out of place and not the same color as you wanted. This is the place where you can also change it. So for example, link color, if you don't want it to be this kind of greenish, you can change it to blue or whatever you want it to be. And same thing goes, there's more options here for all kinds of things. Header, all kinds of things. So if you're lost and not sure where to update, it's probably here. So if it's not in Elementor, then it's here. And again, here's some footer stuff, and you can just explore all these. For now, I think the most important ones for you to know is the global one. And also, for example, you have buttons here, and here you can change also the color of the buttons in the form. So just click on this one and you can select the color here. All right, awesome. Now if I go to the website, refresh it, you can see the new logo is there and also the icon shows up here. Oh, that's great. Ladies and gentlemen, Mel is doing this tutorial as well. Mel, how do you feel? Step 6 is to customize your website to look like your brand. This is probably the most time-consuming step in the whole tutorial. So we're going to need images and some text and bring it all together on the website so that it looks nice and neat. But don't worry, I'll show you where to get free images for the website if you don't have them. Let's go back to WordPress dashboard. You click on this X and then just click on dashboard. It's a good place to start always. Let's now customize our business website to actually look something that we want it to look like. Right now it's a dentist website, and unless you're a dentist, this doesn't really fit you. So let's go to pages and then all pages, and then click on home. And then here you have edit with Elementor. If you click on it, you'll open up the Elementor drag and drop tool. And it's super useful because you don't need to know any coding to use it. So let's say I want to change this text block to something else. So I just click on it, and here in the field, you can start typing, right, like that. And as you can see, while I update the text here, it also gets updated automatically here. So looks good to me. I'm going to just change this to and then let's change this text as well. And make sure this just describes your business and adds a bit of value proposition, like what is it about that you do and how is it beneficial to your customers. And the text looks good now to me. Well, let's change this image because, yeah, the dentist image doesn't really fit our cleaning company. I right-click on this section. On the big block here, you can see, and then edit section. And here you should be able to have, in the style section, you'll be able to change the image. It's this one. Now, I don't have any good images right now, so that's why we also need free image library, which is, if you go to Google and type in pixels, and it's a free stock photo library where you can find a lot of stuff. Let's say I want something with cleaning. Now, if you have your own company, it would be better you take high quality pictures yourself so that you don't use any of these stock photos. But if you don't have a chance right now, you can also use these. So let's say for the first one, I think this will work really well. So I'm clicking on the image. You come here and then click on this arrow, because here you can select the size. The original is way too big for us to use on web. I would use either the medium or large. Since this is our header image, I'm going to use the large one, so that even on a bigger screen it looks good. So I'm going to use that one and then click on free download. Just hit on save. This you can close, or you can donate to the photographer here. And now once it's downloaded, you can come here, click on choose image and upload files. Select files, and I have two of them. This is the original one, and I'm going to select the smaller one. Give it alt text. Just describe what's happening. Man cleaning window, and click on insert media. All right, let's take a look how it looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's nice. I like it. I like the blue tint as well. I think it works really well. The only thing is there's this strange looking overlay with a bit of green at the background. So I want to remove that. And you can do it by scrolling here. Yeah, you're in the background section, but if you scroll down, you have background overlay. And this one, see this color, I don't want it. I actually want the other one as well. Will it work? No. I want it to be the same as this one. You see they're a bit different, so I come to this one and I'll copy this hex number, copy, and I can paste it in here. So now they're the same. Awesome. Looks really good like this. Now just want to change this because we're not booking a consultation. We actually want to get a free quote. I'm going to update that, and also the book now, I think it's better if it says contact us. And for the button, it's done in the form, so it's in the WP form. So I'm going to update that a bit later because right now I'm not able to do it. Just click on update to see all these changes. All right, it's updated. Now if I go to the website, refresh, you can see that it's updated. Nice. I like this blue tint here in the background. Now it is a bit big image, so I feel like this text should be higher up here. So I think the image is actually pushing everything down. So let's take a look at that. I right click on this section, edit section, and then choose edit section. And here, if you click on this section, you see it kind of takes a lot of space. I think it's because of this. And let's just change this so that all the text is here at the top and not at the bottom, because it's a bit weird like that. So just hover over this section, right click on it and click on edit column. And here you see vertical align. It's right now at the bottom. We can change it to top and all move to the top. And you can see that there's a bit too much space here between this text and here and here. So let's change that by clicking on the section, so somewhere on the background, and then edit section, And under advanced, you see you have this padding, and this just adds a bit of padding to both sides. So I'm going to change that to like 20. No, it's a bit too small. I think 50 is fine, and same thing for bottom. Doesn't need that much space. Oop, 500, way too much. Actually, bottom doesn't even need this much. I think you can get away with smaller. Something like this. Yeah, looks much better. Looks a bit empty still, so I'm gonna go in this one, edit column to this one, and then here, horizontal line, middle. This way it will stay always in the middle. Yeah, much better like this. And then update. And you can see if I refresh the page, the changes appear here. Isn't Elementor easy, buddy?
Don't call me buddy, pal or sweetheart.
Right, let's move on to the next sections. So in Elementor, just scroll down and you have this section. Now again, the image doesn't look that good with the dental workers, so let's find a better image. Again, depends what kind of block you want here. I want to talk about our company and the quality. So I have some text here. I'm gonna insert it here. Changing. I'm just copy pasting stuff in. I think it's always better to copy it into the field. It sometimes gets a bit tricky if you copy it directly in the editor. So paste. I don't need this part. I right click on this section, delete. Nice. And this one, let's change it to here, text, learn more. And then we'll need to set up a link later on where it will go. And you can also change the library here. You have icon library, so you can choose things in here. So let's take this arrow and look like that. That looks nice. The only thing is I want it to have different color, a bit more blue than green. So I'm going to click on this button, edit button. In here on the style. And I've taken this hex number from the logo, so it's same number as here. So just gonna grab it like this and add it as a plus. Yep, now I have the color. I don't need to always hunt for it. Looks good to me. And now let's change the image. And again, since we're talking about the company, maybe it would be better that the picture is about you, but I don't have a good picture of me right now. So I'm gonna use pixels again. And let's say, actually let's use the same dude here. He's still cleaning the window, I guess. I'm gonna click on it again, click on the arrow. And this time I don't need such a big image because it's kind of on the side. It's not so, it won't take so much space. So I'm gonna take a smaller one, just save a bit of bandwidth for our users. Free download. And okay. And back to Elementor. And you see here, there's actually two images on top of each other. I'm gonna just remove this one. Okay, now it's escaping me. You can always press on Ctrl Z and it will go away. Delete. I'm gonna change this to upload files, select files, and I'm gonna put this dude. Nice. And one thing, I wanna edit the image. I wanna crop it so that it's a bit more, so it's a portrait image. And click here on crop. And then you can just drag and drop to the section you want, like this. And then click on crop. Now it will rework it and you'll see that you have a new image. And then click on save. We can give it alternative text. And then just click on update. Now you can go back to Elementor. If you choose another image, come back to it. I know it doesn't look like it, anything happened, but if you select it and give it a alt text and insert media, and you can see it added it there. I like it that way. Now we have a second section where it talks about more about us. Again, there's a lot of white space here. I think it's a bit too much even. So I'm going to click on this edit section, and in the style, sorry, in advanced, again 150, way too much. I'm gonna just put 50 and 50, so like this. Nice. I like that. I'm gonna update it. Then I can close this one and refresh the website. Yeah, that's good. And I quite like this section here, so I'm gonna just update the phone number and also the text. So let's go back to Elementor, scroll down, call us today for free. That's gonna change to something more like get. Let's double click on it. Get a free quote today. And call us. This sounds good. The only thing, obviously, you need to put in your number. Just put it in here, whatever it is. And you can put also your email here. It's up to you what you want to do with this. Update. So this is going to be a section where I'm going to insert what we do. Just insert what you want. I'm going to keep this block. I think it's very useful to the customers.
Okay, make it quick because my horse is getting tired.
Okay, I've changed the headings, and obviously you will need to also update the description, or you can just delete this section. It's up to you. The icon doesn't look that good. Describe what we're doing, so I would change them. You click on it and then click on choose image, and these are just images here. So you would go and find each icon if you want, or just delete them if it's too hard to find, but you could just go to pixels. Just to keep it simple for this tutorial, I'm gonna delete these guys. Just gonna confuse the users. Alright, nice. And then click on update. Now what you could do also for cleaning, if you click on this section, edit column, you could also give it a background image. So style image. So it's I'm just gonna show you, I'm not gonna use it like this, but you could give it a background image like that, but then you obviously need to have something that fits there. And also you could give it an overlay here. Like dark blue, and you can adjust the opacity, you see, and this way you can take the text, also update the text color here, this one too, and you have a nice looking services section as well. So I've gone and actually did that. I've added the background image to each of these sections, and sometimes you need to play around with it a little bit. For example, with this one, if I look at the image itself, you see that there's this guy in the washing machine, but by using the position, I'm able to move around the image. You see, this way it's in the center, right center, but if I put it left center, it'll show the left part of the image. And then hit the update. And let's move on to next section. Reviews, super important section. If you have any, then you should include those here. If you have an image, just include it, or you can, if you don't have, you can just delete them. But with image would be better. Just for this example, I'm gonna keep it as is. The only thing here, again, edit section, I find it too much space here. And I'm gonna style it a little bit advanced, and I'm gonna change that to 50 like this. And these sections, these look great. And what's cool also is if you change here, let's change the text. What clients say about us, nice. And here we could say something like read more reviews on, and here you can put either a logo like this, or it could be also a Google My Business logo here, where when the user clicks on it, they actually land on the reviews of Google, so that there's more authority if they see that the reviews are actually on Google and not on your platform. So I'm going to keep these the same. The only thing here again, edit section, style, advanced, and this one way too much. Gonna change it to 50. Looks good. And then the last section here, I don't think I want to keep this one. It's not really relevant for me. So what I do here, just click when you see edit section. What you do is just delete it. Same thing for the map. I don't think it's really useful for the users to know where our shop is as a cleaning agency, but maybe you need this. Maybe this is more relevant to you if you have a location like a dentist clinic, but for me, it makes no sense. I'm going to just delete this section as well. And delete. And I kind of like this section where you have all your contact information easily available here. The only thing here is the logo. Let's change that to the logo we have also. It's already in the media library here. A bit small, just because ours is so long. It's a bit small, so it doesn't really fit here. I'm going to just delete it. Like that. Now I need to adjust site IDs. Actually, they adjust quite nicely here. Okay, I took a bit of a shortcut here. A bit like the special effects in this movie. Look at him jumping in the wrong direction. You can see here there's a bit too much space. I don't like that there's so much space here between these two. So what I'm gonna do is actually, first of all, right click and edit section. Then I'm gonna reduce a little bit this. It's way too big here. So you see here there's a minus in margin. They've been doing something tricky here, so I'm gonna remove that. And now you can see that this block also appears, but now the other one is hidden. Let's see if we can fix that. So I'm gonna move that to the top. Nice. Oh, now I see there's two lines. That's not cool. So I'm gonna remove the line, this line from this block. So I go to style, and this is called shape divider, and I'm gonna just put to none. There's a top and bottom. They should both be at none, and then it works. I'll show you a nice trick that makes your website to look a bit more professional. Is what you do is here, I'm going to change this to white background. Right now it's a gray one. Remove it, clear. Now it's white. That's good. Still looks a bit weird. I'm going to add a bit more space between the two blocks here. Let's see. 50 maybe. No. Let's add padding instead, 50. Yeah, that's about right. And now we go to this section, click edit section, go to style, and here you have the shape divider. And now I'm going to change this tilt to none and go to bottom. So you can choose if the shape divider is from the top or the bottom. I want it to be at the bottom. You'll see in a second why. There's like a lot of different options, so if you want something different you can choose here. I like this pyramids. You can see there's now the lines here, and now these two sections actually combine into one nice white background like this. And I find this looks really nice when you have more shape dividers. So for example, this could be a shape divider as well, so it looks a bit more not so square like, so it's a bit more fluid, I guess. If I refresh the page, you can see it's coming together really nice. You have the service section. Actually, now I noticed that this kind of goes over the title, so I need to fix that. What our clients say about us, yes. And here's the bottom part. Later on I can change also this to white so it looks nice, but actually like this also works. Now it looks like I'm missing one title here. Just right here. You see, it should say our services or something like that. And sometimes if you can't get to this section, for example here I just can't select it, so I edit column constantly. What you can do is come here and you have this navigator, and there's this structure where it's always section, column, and then the intersections. So now you can come here and right click on it and edit section. Now you have all the things here, and you can see here margin is minus 120, so that's why it's actually pushing itself up. So I'm going to remove that, and now you can see it. Now in the navigator you can close it as well and update it. Oh, just noticed that these buttons are kind of green, and I want it to be the same blue as the rest of the site. You can change it simply by clicking on the button and going to the style tab, and there you can just change the color you want. Since we saved the blue already here, I'm going to click on it and it's going to change it. And let me quickly just change these buttons as well. So now everything is in the same color. So the blue, this light blue is our color for buttons and calls to action. And as mentioned, I think they're still missing one section, and it's more of about why us. And let's say we want to add a new section here, or a new block like this one. You know, anytime you can come to the block above or below and click on this plus. It'll ask you what do you want to add. If you click on the plus, you can add the section here, or Astra comes with some predefined sections. You can see here you have blocks, so actually quite a lot of them. Or the last option is actually to use the Elementor templates. So these are full pages, but you can just use the blocks here. So don't worry, the colors don't match, but we can always change those. So here you have different categories. So maybe for a home page. So here, if you know what you're looking for, you can select and just start looking. So some of these are something you need to pay for. So it's the Pro, and some actually work really well. But this one looks good to me actually. If you click on it, it'll display how it looks like. And then if you click on insert. Now to do this, you do need to sign up with Elementor. So you need to have an account and stuff. So you can create it here or log in if you have one. And once you log in, you can connect your site to the template library and just click on connect. It'll do it automatically. Awesome. Now we do need to go back to Elementor here. Just close this one and let's add it again. Plus, and then on the folder and scroll down and use this one. Insert. Get started. Now you have this block here, which is awesome. Now I don't need to go and create this all by myself. It's already done for me. And here, a bit too much space. Big T. Ooh. This divider, I'm just gonna get rid of it like that. And then I'm gonna update the text so that it matches what I want from this. And I'll just speed up this clip at this point. I'm updating everything here as we did before, changing the text. Then I change also the icons to reflect what I want. And the process is pretty much the same as what we've done so far. And then once everything is done, when you've updated everything, don't forget to click on update. So I've just changed the content to something that I want it to be, and some colors to match the design of the rest of the page. So now if we go to the website itself, refresh the page. And you can see a fully developed website here. It looks great, professional, and has all the sections you would need for any business. The thing is, we only have one page right now, and that's alright for some cases. And if you want to link all of these, all you need to do is go to Elementor, and here, let's say this section, I'm going to right click on this and edit section, and in advanced, in the first tab, advanced, and here you have CSS ID. If you give it, so what you need to do here is just give it a name, about -us, and don't forget you cannot have any white spaces here, so always have a dash there. So about us, then update, and click on the hamburger menu and right click on this exit to dashboard and open new tab. So this will go back to the pages, and now I'm gonna show you how to update the menu, and you can do that in appearance and customize. Now in here you need to scroll down until you see menus, and you have the primary menu here. Just click on it. You see home, about, procedures. You have all of that here as well. Now actually I don't need this link. Procedures don't have any useful. I just click on this arrow and then I click to remove it. But reviews also, I'm not gonna use it, so I'm gonna just delete it. About and contact, that's something we might need later, but for now let's concentrate on about. And now it has this hashtag about, but we just gave an ID of about-us. And now if I click on publish and I go to the website and refresh it and click on about, you'll see it scrolls down to the right section. And you could do this for all the sections if you want, but in that case you only have one page website. And actually I like to have different pages for different topics, so I'm sure you could say more about yourself in about us section than this. And also super useful contact section. Now if you don't want to show this phone number here, you just go back to the customizer, and here if you close it, you can just hover over this phone number and click on this pen icon, and you'll see it'll take you to the right place. And here if you click on this one, you see it's the phone number. You can change it to something, or you can simply remove it. That's up to you. The remove icon is here if you want it. But actually I find it really useful if you have a phone number in a very prominent position on your website, because that just adds a bit of trust to your website. And don't be surprised if you start getting calls like this.
I need some money. Immediately. Money? This is not a bank. I know.
Step 7 is to create a new About Us page. And the main point is just to show you how to create pages and also how to copy Elementor templates from one page to another. Alright, let's next create an About Us page so that it's not just something that it scrolls to the right section, but actually a page for that topic. So you can close down this window, just click on this X and go back to Elementor here. This is the original homepage we were updating. So what you need to do here is, here at the bottom there's a little save options, save as a template. So this page will be saved as a template. So let's do that. So this is a homepage template, save. The good thing is we do that, all the blocks we use, we can just reuse them and they will look like exactly the same from one page to the other. So now what we can do is go to the other tab with the pages. This is the customizer, we just closed it, and this is the pages section, all pages. And here at the top you can click on add new, and let's create a new page called About Us. And then click on edit with Elementor. Okay, cool. And now you can click on this icon, add template, and here my templates, we still have one here, insert. Yes, I want to import all the settings. You can see it's loading, and voila, you have the same looking page here. So obviously you don't want to have all of this stuff. So for example, the first block, it can just go. Can we reuse this one? I think we can reuse this one a little bit. So here, for example, I would like to reuse this one, this block. What we can do is drag and drop it here. So I'm just dragging it and I'm gonna drop it above this one. Okay, let's create a new section like that. And now I can drop it there. Like that. And now you can give it title, about us. All right, and now we can start adjusting this. This block looks good. The only thing is I want to change the image, not to have the same one. So maybe it could be some sort of a theme image. So I'm going to upload. I've downloaded this image from Pexels as well. And insert media. And there you go. We have a theme picture. I would just update this text. So who we are. And then you can talk about more about yourself. And maybe not more, learn more, because this doesn't apply for it. So let's just delete it. And we could reuse this section as well. So I'm going to delete this one. What clients say, also not useful right now. Let's delete it. Gonna add a bit of padding here because now it's too close in my opinion. Like that. Nice. I think adding this free quote on this page also makes sense, because if somebody reads about us and then they really like what we do, they can just here call us right away. So we just make it easy. All right, I like it. I think for this demo it looks good. So I'm gonna now publish it. And now you can click here, have a look. It'll open up a new tab with About Us here. Nice. Looks all good. Now, one more thing, I want to change the title. I think it's an H2, so heading 2, but actually this is the main header of this page. So let's make it header 1 so that Google also knows this is the main header for this whole page. And now we can just click on the hamburger menu and exit the dashboard. And now let's go back to appearance and customize, because we're going to link the menu to the new page. So now here, primary menu, about, if you click on that, we still have About Us, but now actually it's, you just change this hashtag to /, then publish it. And here, refresh your website. And then click on About. And it goes to About Us page. Awesome. Now we have this contact, which doesn't do anything right now. I think we're just going to remove it for now. Like this. And then publish. Because you don't want to have anything that it actually is not relatable to the user. A bit like the plot twist in this movie.
Ah! You slapped me, you monkey!
Marry me.
So original. Step 8 is to create your first blog post or business article. And you'll notice that blog posts work a little bit differently in WordPress than the pages. Let's close this customizer and go to the WordPress dashboard. So if you go to dashboard and here, posts, and add new. Now, the posts are like articles in WordPress, so it really depends on your business if you want to write them. If you do, then make sure if you have a cleaning company in a certain area that you really target the area. So you don't just say how to clean kitchen sink, but you actually target something more specific, like, I don't know, 10 best tools in the San Francisco Bay Area for cleaning equipment. So really specific, because it's really hard to rank on Google for anything that is super generic. And anyway, you don't want to have clients that are, let's say, from Canada, whereas your business is in LA. So we start here just by typing the blog post name. So let's say 10 things. Then in here, you can edit the rest with Elementor. So you could now start editing stuff with Elementor. This is how the blog post will look like. Or what you can use, which I find a bit easier actually, unless you're gonna go a bit crazy with this, depends what you put in. What you could do is also, if you exit the Elementor, you could always just go back to WordPress editor as well. So this is the original editor, and I think it works a bit better for the blog post. And it's literally, you just start typing here and it adds this section. Then when you need an image or something, you just click on this add blog and choose what kind of, say, an image here, upload. And once the image is loaded, you can add more items. You always just click on the plus, select the block you want to add, and then just update it. Super simple, works really well for blog posts and so on. So you just start typing. It's like a normal post, any article. And the cool thing is here, you can, if you scroll down here, where is it? Featured image, you can add it there. Let's say we'll just use this one. Insert. Now you don't see it inserted anywhere here, but if I publish this and then click on view post, and this is your blog post. You can see the featured image comes on top, and then the rest, that's where this is your main copy and your main content that we just updated. All right, so now we have our first blog post, and there's actually another post which is a default one. It gets created automatically, nothing you can do about it. We can delete it later, but basically, obviously you want some sort of a page for all your blog posts, and that's something you set up in WordPress. So if you go back, this is saved, that's good. Then if you go to settings, reading, and here you have your home page, which is already set to home, but now we also need post page. We don't have one, so that's what we need to create. So you can keep this page open and come here and hover over pages and then right click on add new and open in a new tab. Let's name it just blog, like that. And just publish it, publish. And then let's go back to this settings, and here if we refresh the page, in the drop down you have blog. So if you choose that and save changes and go back to the blog we just created, that's the page, and you can here click on view page. You can see it's a simple list of our articles, of our content posts. Later on you can really adjust all of this. Maybe you don't want all this widgets. That's alright, let's change that. We go back to WordPress and here appearance and then widgets. And you have this main sidebar, which is basically what you see here. I think the search is alright. In most cases you want to have it unless you have only few posts. But then also recent posts, comments, I don't think that's so useful, so I'm going to delete this section. You can always add it back. Archives also not a thing for me. Categories, yeah, okay, we keep that one. We don't have anything there right now, but so I'm going to delete it until we actually get something. And the meta, really not useful. So then they get saved automatically, so there's no save button anywhere. If you go to the blog, just /blog, you can see it gets updated, and now you have your blog posts. If you click on the image or the title, you'll end up on the blog post itself. And that's how you set up your first blog post. And as mentioned, really it depends on your business if you want to even create this. A lot of people create them for search engine performance, so that you appear on Google and you get free traffic from Google, and they become your leads, your customers, so you can get more money. Step 9 is to optimize your website with plugins, and the cool thing is we already installed the most useful ones, so let's get back to those and I'm going to show you how to set them up. I'm going to close a few of these tabs. I have so many open. I think this one, yeah, we can close these and go back to the dashboard. All right, let me just show you how to set up all these plugins so that you have the best performance out of them. And let's start actually with the page performance, which is the W3 Total Cache plugin, and it's super good and it makes your website so much faster. Alright, I've just run a speed test on this website. This page is called GT Metrics, and it's able to visit your website, and then it just creates a performance report out of that data, and it shows it here. And you can see that it got a 84% or a B for page speed score, and Y slow score is 6.9, and it loads in 2.8 seconds. Now the thing is, here you can see why it's not loading so quickly, and one of the biggest issues is that the images are too big basically. So I want to now enable some of the plugins that I'll show you, and you'll see the difference in all these performance scores. So let's get started with the page speed optimization. So let's go, and here at the top you'll see performance, and just click on general settings. And just scroll down and enable the page cache. Also enable the minify. It'll just warn you that there might be some problems with this one, but as long as you update the plugin, it should work fine with everything. So and then just click I understand the risks. And you can keep these as default. And then here, you scroll down, enable the database cache and the object cache. CDN we're not going to use right now. And just keep scrolling. Enable the lazy loading. And the rest you can keep as is. And then just click on one of these save settings and purge cache. So one thing about the cache plugin is when you do updates on your website, you time to time have to come here, performance, and purge all cache. And this way it will remove all the files that it's created and refresh your website. So sometimes you might end up in a situation where you've updated something, but then you go to your website and you don't see the change. It's because of the cache. Just refresh it, remove the old data, and then you'll see the change. So don't forget to use this performance. All right. And here's the score after we did all the optimizations. Basically, the biggest thing is to have a caching plugin, which is the W3 total cache. You can see page speed score is now 99% and it's an A, and also Y slow score 89 as a B. Fully loaded time is 1.6 seconds, which is basically more or less 1 second faster than when we started. There's a few things I can still optimize. So for example, Y slow score, it will go higher if you would use content delivery network. When you're starting out, really don't worry. This is as optimized you need it to be right now so that it performs quickly and it works really well. Arnie, did you use any performance improvers in your career?
Cocainum.
Alright, let me next show you just quickly the SEO plugin that's installed. So here on the left, if you scroll down, you see SEO. Just click on General. This is called Yoast SEO. It's a very popular plugin and it has a lot of features. I want to just mention that here under Webmaster Tools, this is where you can actually verify your website with Google, which will be important down the road. And you have also under search appearance here on the left, you have more settings. This tool is very extensive, so if you want to know more about this, how to set up everything, check out the link in the description, and it just talks more about this plugin. By default, the settings are already pretty good, and the most noticeable is when you use it in an article or a post. So if you go to post, and there's only one here, so I'll open this one. If you click on edit, so all your posts and all your pages will have the same blog. It's the Yoast SEO blog, and it helps you to create the content that actually is also good for SEO. And if you want to learn more about all the features of this plugin, just check out the link in the description of this video. And the next plugin I want to show you is called Updraft Plus, and you can reach it here at the top. It's a plugin for backups. So to backup stuff, you can go here at the top, you see Updraft Plus, and then select Settings. And on this page, you'll be able to set automatic backups. So you have two things to set up here, files to backup and database. You need both. So let's set those to weekly. and then how many copies you want to retain. Since I have weekly, I'm going to just set to 4, so that means I have backups for a month. Then there's an option to have remote storage. So for example, my favorite is Google Drive or Dropbox, and that way you actually have all your backups somewhere in a remote location, and they're not dependent on your web hosting, because by default all these backups will be saved on your web hosting, which is in 99% cases okay. But if you want to learn how to actually do a remote storage, then check out the link in the description. I have there how to do it with Google Drive and Dropbox, I think. Then if you scroll down, you can keep these as is. And then here, if you want to get an email every time a backup is done, you can check this one, and the rest just keep them as is, and then don't forget to save changes. Okay, and then once it's done, you can go to Backup Restore tab. You can see here that next scheduled backup is March 29th, which is a week from today, and it's going to make an automatic backup. Then if you want a backup from what you have right now, you can just click on Backup Now. And here you just choose Include Database, include your files, and that's about it. And then just click on Backup Now. And here you'll see it starts to backing up your files. Since you don't have that much stuff yet, it'll be fairly quick. And this is the way you can actually set up backups automatically, just so you have a peace of mind when you're doing updates on your website that nothing goes wrong. And then another security plugin that's really good one is this Akismet Anti-Spam, and you can see it under settings, and here if you click on it, it's very useful, especially when you start getting some traffic on your website. You'll get so much spam, so many comments that are not real, they're just generated by robots. I really recommend you to go through this. You just need to register an account, and then you're able to utilize this plugin. It's free and it works really well, and you'll notice you'll make a big difference. You'll filter out most of the spam. So I really recommend this one, especially if you're doing a blog or something where there's could be a lot of comments.
Oh, really?
And the last plugin I want to show you is the Limit Login Attempts to WordPress Admin. And that's something, again, in the settings, it's the last one here, Limit Login Attempts. If you click on it, it's already by default, it's enabled. And what's great about it, if somebody's trying to hack your website, you're able to lock it down, and it helps just with general security. Arnie, what do you do to protect your site? Don't come to my site. Step 10 is to install visitor tracking tool called Google Analytics, because what you can't measure, you can't improve. So if you don't know how many people visit your website, what's the point? All right, let's install Google Analytics on our website. And Google Analytics is just a website tracking tool, so you'll be able to see how many people come to your site, from what country they came from, and what device they used. There's a lot of features that come with Google Analytics, and the best part is it's a free tool. So let's get started by just going to Google and typing in Google Analytics. And here just choose the first option, and it'll ask you to sign in. So you need a Google account to create Google Analytics, but you don't need Gmail for that. So you can link your Hotmail or any other email to Google account. If you don't have a Google account yet, then check out the video that will appear on your screen's top right corner now. And there I'll show you how to set it up, even if you don't have Gmail. So let's just sign in. And once you log in, you'll see a page like this or something similar. They change this quite often, so it might look slightly different than yours. But what you need to do is just click on Start Measuring or Sign Up or whatever that is. And here it'll ask you to create an account. So for the account name, usually you put in your business name, or in my case, it'll be the name of the website. But some businesses have multiple accounts, so that's why you also want to maybe consider to put it with your business name. But really up to you. And then they ask a bunch of questions here. You don't need to agree to any of these. It's just for Google to track what you do and improve the services, but really there's no drawbacks if you just opt out. No problem. Then click on next. And here we're going to choose which type of account we want to measure. And for us, it's web, so it's pre-selected already. So that's great. And then scroll down and click on next again. And now it's asking for the actual website name. So previously it was more of a business name. Now it's website name. I'm going to just use the same, the tips with punch, just without the HTTPS like this. So this just shows up in the menus and stuff like that. And this is important. Here, choose HTTPS. And then just put in your full URL here. So HTTPS tipswithpunch.com. In your case, it might be even with www. I don't use it, so that's why I don't even put it there. Then just select the industry. Let's see if they have cleaning here. That's what the website is about. It's not here, but just try to find the closest to it. They're very broad topics. So I'll choose just other here. For industry, I'm just going to choose other. They didn't have anything that I want. And then just choose your reporting time zone. This is quite important so that you know when the day starts and ends. In my case, it will be Netherlands, so I'm going to choose that one. And then just click on create. Here, Google will ask you to accept their terms and conditions. You can read through them, and if you agree with them, just check this checkbox and accept them. So here, they'll ask you if you want some email communication, stuff like that. For now, I'm gonna just hit save, and for me, that's okay. And this is basically, you can close these. And this is basically your Google Analytics dashboard, and you'll need this code in just a sec. It sounds all like it's very hard to do and stuff, but really, you just copy paste this to one field in WordPress. So let's head to WordPress. I'm here in my dashboard, and here on the left you have plugins, and then click on add new. And in the search box type in Astra hooks, and it'll be this first plugin that shows up. Just click on install now, and once it's ready, just click on activate. Alright, once it's done activating, what you need to do is come here, appearance, and customize. On the left, just go to hooks and then header. And here, this is where we need to grab this code. So copy it and then paste it in here. So nothing will happen here. You won't even see the code because it's a JavaScript code and it's completely unnoticeable. Just click on publish. And you can exit this one. And let's just clear our cache just to make sure that there's nothing interfering with the new code. And then if you go to the home page of your new website and then refresh it, you won't see anything here. But if you come to Google Analytics and click on this little home icon, if you click on it, you should see now that you have a visitor here. The slash just means it's a home page. If I go here to About page, then you'll see that soon it will change to About Us. Because this is the live view of your site, and hopefully at some point this will show a lot of active users at the same time. But for now, obviously it's just me. And that's it. We've installed Google Analytics, so anytime you come here, you'll be able to see more data about your website. Now, don't get worried. In the beginning, there won't be much traffic. It's probably mostly you. And if you want to know more about Google Analytics, I have a short overview of analytics, and you can find that video in the description. And hopefully after some time, your Google Analytics starts looking like this, where you start seeing some data. You'll have much more data here, and you can dive deeper, and you have active users on the right and things like this. You'll be able to see which pages they visit. And I just love Google Analytics in general, but you do need traffic to use this. So I think in the beginning it's important, just so you know how many people visit your website. Now you can keep an eye on your visitors like this. Step 11, you made it to the last step. So Once you're completely happy with your website, so you have all your content, your images, everything is ready, then it's good to notify Google that they can index your website. And we're going to use Google Search Console to do that. Now, there is a chance Google already has indexed your website, but it's always good to make sure they do it. Next, let's register our website with Google Search Console, which is a way which will enable us later to actually tell Google where our website is and what kind of pages there are. It's a tool for all the webmasters to control their website. Later on, you'll be able to see what kind of keywords people use to find your website on Google Search. So again, go to Google and type in Google Search Console, and then just choose the first option. You'll be greeted with this view. It might look slightly different. They change these quite often. You might have a sign in button or something like that, but since we already signed in to Google, just click on Start Now. All right, you land on this page where you have two options. Basically, the left one, I find it's a bit harder to set up, but maybe in the long run it's a bit better. Since you're just starting out with websites and stuff, I would go with URL prefix. It's much quicker to set up and also verify. And we're going to use the URL prefix. But if you want still to try the domain, I have a video how to do it on HostPapa, and it will appear in your screen's top right corner right now. So let's verify with the URL prefix, and this is really important that you type in your whole URL here. So I'm just going to go to my homepage, grab the URL, I have it here, and paste it here. It's important that you include the HTTPS as well, and that you either use www or you don't. Really, I think the easiest way is to go to your homepage, refresh the page, and then just grab the URL you get from the browser. And then click on continue. So the cool thing is, because we've just set up Google Analytics, Google is able to verify it automatically that we actually own this website. That's all you need to do. Done. All right. In some cases, some of you might not be verified with Google Analytics. In that case, you'll see something like this. You'll have few ways to verify that you actually own the domain, so that Google knows that you own this and they can show you all the data. So in that case, what you need to do is open up this HTML tag, you open it, and then they have this code. All you need to do is grab this part that's inside the content. Don't take the quotes, just grab this one, copy, and then you come to your WordPress dashboard, and here you go to SEO, and then General, then Webmaster Tools, and here you have Google verification code. You just paste it here, like that, save changes. And then you would go back to Google and you would click on verify. So now I've verified with both ways. So that's all you need to do. Done. And now you can go here, search for property, and you see you have your website there. And you'll be greeting with your start guide and stuff. You can click on it and you can learn more if you want to. There's great videos on YouTube introducing you to this, all of this. And right now you don't have anything because your website is so new that Google hasn't gathered any information about you. You might not even know that your website exists yet. Okay, let's do one more thing before we end this tutorial. You go to sitemaps. In short, sitemap is just basically a map of your website, and it looks a bit weird, but there's just a lot of links after each other, and it tells search engines like Google so how the pages are connected to each other. So what do you need to do here? You already knows your domain name, so you need to enter sitemap _ index.xml. To check that it's correctly, just copy this, go to your home page of your website, and then / and the same one, sitemap _ index.xml. You'll see you land on a page like this because Yoast SEO plugin has created automatically this sitemap. And you don't need to update this. It will automatically always update when you have new pages and posts. So cool, that's the right one. Then just click on submit. This will notify Google that your website is ready to be indexed. It will still might take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. For some it's a bit faster, for some it's longer, but it'll take some time for Google to actually visit your website. Let's say in a week or two you can start already checking. You just go to Google, and what you do is you start typing in site like this, site with colon, and then your domain name, and then your domain name, and then you hit enter. Now depending on your site and how long it took you to actually set up all content and stuff like that, you either see some results here or you don't see anything. If you don't see anything, that means your website hasn't been indexed yet. But if you do start seeing URLs like this, it means Google has indexed your website. In theory, your pages will start showing up in Google results. Now in practice, when you're a new website, it takes time to start seeing traffic. And even then, you need to work hard to get some traffic on your website. So then after some time, you should start seeing some reports like this, where you can see how many people clicked on Google search results with your website. And then you're able to go inside and dig deeper, for example, which queries they came with, and what's the average position of your website and stuff like that. Wow, if you made this far, congratulations. You have now a fully optimized website ready to be indexed by Google and appear in the searches. Now, if you have a physical location like a store or something, then it's good that you also submit your website to Google Maps so people can find you there as well. Now, if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. I check them almost daily and I'll try to help you out with anything you have. My name is Robert, and if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about how to improve your website, get more traffic, and other website related stuff, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Here are 2 videos that I think you should watch next. Whoosh!